Sorry, bright sun. Truck, trailer. What are we up to now? Let's see. This is so exciting.
For the girl who loves a soldier is the girl who adores a parade. And she loves to see her soldier play his part in the grand cavalcade. For the girl who loves a soldier is in love with the right kind of man. When he says, fall in, my darling, well, she falls in his arms while she can. She simply can't refuse him. Oh, how she'd hate to lose him. For the girl who weds a soldier is the girl who adores a parade. She becomes herself a soldier.
And it looks like this tub is like fiberglass or something. That's what I was looking at the other day. Parked this thing out here for storage because he was selling a property where he had a bunch of Jeeps parked. And he ended up getting cancer and he passed away about 5 years ago. And his wife, we're still good friends with her, and she's looked high and low for the title and stuff for this thing at the house and can't find it.
Gotcha.
And then my parents, they sold this place, so we're cleaning all this stuff out.
Gotta move.
Gotta move. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, and actually looking at it, I can see some of the paint striations here. That's
Fiberglass?
That's very typical of fiberglass.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's pretty.
The upside is that addresses rust,
Yeah.
which is always such a big deal.
Yeah, and I was like, I'm a hot rodder, not a jeeper, but I like everything motorsports. And I, this is kind of this guy's. He really was into these things.
Oh boy. Oh, okay. Find a tire shop that will deal with this.
Yeah.
These things. If you've done a power brake conversion or a power steering conversion,
Really?
or if you've changed out an engine. I was looking at the pictures and trying to decide what exactly it was, because there's pieces of this that look very much like the original military MBs, and pieces that are definitely more of a civilian trait. And
Yeah.
so the fiberglass tub.
Yeah, I was noticing that because I was like, I'm gonna vacuum this thing out and look at the floor pan,
Yeah,
because everybody's always interested in that.
in the floor plan, and
And I was like, wow, it's fiberglass.
well, I mean that addresses my concerns about rust and the odd fire.
3 point something liter or 3 liter or
Yeah, thereabouts.
yeah.
I mean, there was the Buick V6, and it was at the time it was this motor that has a really interesting history of being owned by Kaiser and being owned by GM and being sold back, and good motor actually.
Yeah, my dad was saying he worked in a body shop in the 70s, and one of his buddies had one of these with the V6 in it, and he was like,
Yeah, that's definitely fiberglass.
it runs good,
Yeah, that's definitely an original Jeep axle with the offset input to the passenger side. It's one of those conversations about, when you're dealing with this type of stuff, how much of it is original, and if you start swapping parts around, some of it makes it actually very complicated to do so, because things are not in the same place that they would be with anything modern.
Okay.
I mean, instead of the bell housing, it's got this adapter plate on it.
Like a V8 adapter or something?
Well, it's something. This is an adapter plate for a something in front of.
I was looking at it,
the
almost
trans.
looks like a Muncie faceplate or something like that.
Right. So this is an adapter plate to a something, and then the rest of it looks to be the same.
Yeah.
So this is And that's probably an original bell housing, I'm going to guess.
Looks like it. Has casting numbers.
Yeah,
On it.
that has the look of a factory part.
And a cool little inspection cover.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so then this would be, looks like it's the same transmission, but
Minus the PTO.
Minus, yeah, it doesn't have the PTO on it.
Okay.
And that's an interesting place to put the PTO too. But yeah, minus the PTO. So it looks like it's the same basic transmission. But yeah, they've been and actually that number might equate to what that actually is. To say this is what that actually is intended to connect to.
Okay.
Because people, I mean, when you blew up the original 4-cylinder, or you decided that the 60 horsepower it came with from the factory was not
Adequate for
what you were doing, people adapted all sorts of things into them.
Oh.
And I mean, we're talking about a 1940, so they were doing a lot of that adaptation in the 50s and 60s. Everything was very simple at that point in time.
Yeah.
And so you had the local machinist, cut out a plate,
Bolted on there.
bolt on the other bell housing that you needed, and away you went. The crack here is interesting. That
looks like somebody was putting some torque on it or something.
that implies that something bad happened.
Yeah, or was it a wrong angle? Yeah. And there's stuff. I don't know if there's stuff in these crates or not underneath.
Right.
I kind of looked in there. There's little odds and ends of things. But yeah, I mean.
So the first question, my dear.
Yo.
A steel body, you bang it on a rock, it dents.
Yeah.
A fiberglass body, you bang it on a rock, it flexes, and then it shatters.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can you keep it out of the rocks?
I got a penny to play in the rocks, so I think I can keep it out of the rocks. I mean, this isn't meant to go in the rocks. This is meant to be a fun rig on the easy trails.
And they're to the driver's side. Okay. These are passenger side. But what they actually did on these is the front and rear outputs are aligned.
Oh.
And so then the differential on the rear axle is shifted to the side, just like it is on the front.
Okay.
Which is okay, that's interesting. Complicates it if you want to put some
Like modern eye stuff in there.
anything modern in there, because it's like, okay, how far do I have to wind this back up? So it's always interesting when you see an engine swap. What did they do with the rest of the drivetrain?
Yeah.
And it looks like they kept the looks of it. I mean, the twin stick shifters here for the. So one is for the front axle engage. The other is for the range box.
I was wondering about
the high-low.
Okay.
So that looks like an original thing. The rest of the shifters. So that looks like it's all original powertrain transmission back that's been made into this other engine.
And this transmission looks very similar to the one that's in there.
And yeah, this looks like more of the same. So again,
We bought it! I got a new Jeep! So this might be Project Lemonhead. We'll see how this works out.
Is this really happening? I can't believe it's true. I'm just as surprised as you. Is this really happening? I can't be too sure, but one day I'll be yours again.
So,
it's home.
it's home, it's unloaded. Really excited about that. Plans.
We'll look at it in 6 months.
Yeah, we have Easter Jeep Safari coming up. We still have work on Penny to do. Roy's rig is going to get a major rear end upgrade. M715, of course. So, I mean, this is project on top of project on top of project, which is pretty typical, right? But this is my new kid. I have no idea what its name is. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. We've got some ideas.
She's gonna wheel the crap out of it. That's what's gonna happen.
Yeah,
All
there
right.
we go.
Take care.
Thanks for watching.
Now, the rest of the story.
I couldn't resist parking my two Jeeps side by side, and of course the size difference is staggering. It's supposed to be. And that is why we shopped for this rig. I like the hard trails. Penny gets bored on anything under an 8. She seems to break on things underneath 8s. Kenneth doesn't want to do 8s, at least not with Blue. And Roy, well, he's waiting for the MJ crawler to be finished. So they wanted to give me something that I could wheel on the easy trails that would make them a challenge. This rig is going to challenge me as a driver, but it's going to be so much fun. I can't wait to get her cleaned up and start planning. Thanks for watching.